Ladies and gentlemen, what you speak first, you strengthen most. Before your feet hit the ground, before your phone fills your mind with other people's noise, before the weight of the day tries to press you back down, what you say to yourself becomes your foundation. Words are not just sounds. Words are spirit. They shape the air around you, and they harden the soil under your steps. The first words you allow to rise from your lips every morning either build you or break you. Your life bends in the direction of your inner language. If your first words are complaints, don't be surprised when your day follows with chaos. If your first words are filled with dread, don't act shocked when anxiety knocks on your door. But if your first words are truth, strength, and discipline, you awaken the warrior inside you before the world even gets a chance to challenge you. Don't wait until the world is falling apart to speak like a conqueror. Speak like one now. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are preparing to rise, no matter what is broken. The first battle of every day is not with people, not with deadlines, not even with your circumstances. The first battle is with your mind. And your words are the weapon you bring into that battlefield. You can't control what the day throws at you, but you can control what you throw into the day. Too many people walk into the battlefield of life with no preparation, no armor, no clarity, just reaction. But a disciplined mind speaks truth before temptation even whispers. A focused heart declares victory while the enemy is still asleep. And a person who wins their morning is hard to defeat the rest of the day. What you speak first, you strengthen most. If you wake up saying, "I'm tired," you just told your body to drag. If you say, "I can't do this," you already trained your spirit to quit. But if you open your eyes and say, "I was built for this," then every cell in your body listens. Speak to your soul before the noise of the world confuses it. Your voice is your first leader. If it leads with weakness, you will follow it into failure. But if it leads with intention, you will follow it into excellence. You cannot afford to let your first words be careless. This isn't about toxic positivity. This is about strategic authority. This is about knowing that your inner environment is sacred, and what enters it first becomes the seed for everything else that grows. Don't just wake up. Rise up. Speak like your future is listening, because it is. Speak like the warrior inside you is asleep, and your words are the alarm clock. Say, "I'm not here to be average. I'm not here to survive. I'm here to build. I'm here to focus. I'm here to sharpen every gift that's been placed inside me." And say it like you mean it. Because hesitation is a signal to weakness, not spoken, but clarity is a command to power. You are not weak just because you feel tired. You are not lost just because you're in the middle of a fight. What matters is that you speak truth in the face of pressure. You speak strength in the face of struggle. You speak purpose in the face of pain. Live not spoken. That's how warriors train. Not when everything's calm, but when everything's loud. And they choose to be louder. Your first words can set your soul on fire or freeze it in fear. Choose the fire. Choose to say something that builds you. Be lived, spoken, something that calls out the discipline in you. Something that reminds you who you are when the world wants you to forget. Don't let your mouth be lazy when your life is demanding strength. Every day is a test. Not of your knowledge, but of your conviction. What do you really believe about yourself? You'll know by what you say first. Not when you post, not when you text. When you wake, that's the real you. That's the moment that matters. So own it, guard it, dominate it. You are not just waking up to a new day. You are walking into a new opportunity to lead yourself. And every leader starts by speaking into the atmosphere. Speak with honor. Speak with purpose. Speak with direction. Because what you speak first, you strengthen most. And what you strengthen will carry you or crush you, depending on what it's made of. Discipline starts with declaration. Before you ever take action, before you form habits, before the world sees the results, discipline is born in your mouth. It's not something you wait to feel. It's something you choose to speak. You don't drift into discipline, you declare your direction. and then you walk it. If your mouth won't commit, your life won't either. Every strong foundation begins with a decision. But decisions don't become power until they are spoken. When you declare something, you are drawing a line in the sand between who you were and who you're about to become. You are sending a signal to your mind, your spirit, and your body that comfort no longer runs the show, that excuses have been evicted, that delay is no longer an option. Discipline doesn't just show up one day like a gift. It must be summoned. And it's summoned by the language you use with yourself. I will not quit today. I will show up even if I don't feel like it. I don't break my word to myself. These are not motivational slogans. They are war cries. They are commands. And they separate the serious from the soft. You can't have discipline in silence, because silence gives room for hesitation, for second guessing, for compromise. But when you speak with authority, when you declare your standard, you eliminate the option to fold. Your word becomes your law. And when your law is spoken with conviction, even your emotions start to obey. Discipline begins in the dark, when no one is watching. That's where declarations matter most. When it's just you and the mirror, just you and the clock, just you and that voice in your head that says, take it easy today. You don't win that moment by thinking. You win it by declaring. You speak against that weakness. You command your body like a soldier commands a troop. You say, move. Now, we don't negotiate with laziness, because discipline is not a mood. It's not a personality type. It's a decision you reinforce daily with the words you allow out of your mouth. Every time you say, I'll try, you weaken the edge of your sword. But every time you say, I will, you sharpen it. Discipline is about language just as much as it's about action. When you declare your discipline, not spoken, you aren't just convincing yourself, you're programming yourself. You're creating mental infrastructure. You're training your nervous system to push past resistance, to ignore comfort, and to prioritize purpose. Athletes don't wait to feel strong to train. Warriors don't wait to feel brave to fight. They declare strength, declare courage, and then let their actions follow that declaration. Too many people are waiting for the right environment to become disciplined. Waiting for motivation, waiting for support, waiting for everything to feel perfect. But discipline doesn't bloom in comfort. It's forged in resistance. And your declaration is the spark that lights the fire when everything around you is cold. Say it out loud, not just once, but every day. I show up no matter what. I'm not guided by my feelings. I'm guided by my principles. I finish what I start. These words should be sacred. They should not be flexible. Because if your declaration is weak, your discipline will collapse under pressure. But if your declaration is solid, pressure becomes your sharpening ground. You'll be tested. That's guaranteed. Life doesn't ask for permission to challenge you. But if you've already declared your standard, then you won't bend when that challenge comes. You've already told yourself who you are. And when you say it enough, you become it. This is why so many people fail. Not because they lack potential, but because they never fully commit to their discipline with their words. They keep their promises soft. They leave loopholes, not spoken. They say, I'll try to wake up early. I'm hoping to get consistent. That's not a declaration. That's a negotiation. And warriors don't negotiate with weakness. You need to speak like your future is listening. Because it is. The person you're trying to become is shaped by the words you use right now. Stop saying, I'll try. Start saying, it's already done. I just need to live it out. Speak with the energy of someone who refuses to live beneath their potential. Discipline is hard, but it gets easier when your words create a structure your actions can follow. If your foundation is verbal hesitation, your house will collapse when the winds of difficulty blow. But if your foundation is verbal conviction, your discipline becomes unshakable. So declare it every day, not just when it's convenient. Speak strength before your body feels it. Speak clarity before the fog clears. Speak discipline before the results come. Because discipline doesn't begin with effort. It begins with decision. And every decision must first be spoken with power. Discipline starts with declaration. And what you declare consistently, you become permanently. You can't rise above what you refuse to say to yourself. You can pray for strength, train for greatness, and hustle for results. But if your inner voice stays silent, or worse, speaks against you, you will always be limited by the words you're afraid to declare. What you never say to yourself, you never truly believe. And what you don't believe, you'll never build. There is a conversation happening in your mind every single day. Most of it is invisible to others, but it determines everything about your life, your confidence, your actions, your energy, your courage. If that conversation is filled with hesitation, fear, guilt, or doubt, then you'll keep climbing but never rise. You'll keep moving but never break through. Because rising isn't just physical, it's mental. And you can't rise above what you've locked yourself under. Some people have the talent, they have the ideas, they have the opportunities, but they don't have the voice, not the external one, the internal one. They refuse to speak greatness over themselves. They refuse to affirm their own identity. And in the absence of that inner voice, other voices take over, not spoken. The critics, the memories, the failures, the fears. When you don't say it to yourself, someone else will say something for you. And it usually won't be truth. Silence sounds safe, but it's dangerous. Because silence is where the lies grow. When you don't speak power to yourself, your past starts whispering. Your pain starts echoing. Your insecurities start preaching. And without a declaration of truth, live not spoken, you will start agreeing with the very things that were meant to be defeated. The only way to shut them down is to say something louder. You have to learn to become your own prophet. Stop waiting for others to validate you. Stop waiting for circumstances to confirm you. Stand in front of the mirror, not just to fix your appearance, but to fix your alignment, to confront yourself, to say the hard things and the holy things. I am not weak. I am not broken beyond repair. I am chosen for more. I am not my mistake. I am still becoming. Say it, not for show, but for war. Because this is war. It's a war between what you were and what you're called to be. It's a war between survival and significance. And the battleground is your mouth. Your soul will only rise as far as your words allow it. If you keep repeating the old story, the old pain, the old fear, then you'll relive it over and over again. But if you start speaking what you were born for, then everything starts to shift. Don't expect to rise just because you're tired of falling. You have to declare something new. You have to say things that scare your doubt and shake your fear. You have to speak in a way that surprises even you. Because if your words don't stretch you, they'll never strengthen you. Say the things you need to believe, even if you don't believe them yet. Speak them until they feel real, until they start shaping your mind, your habits, your actions. That's how elevation works. It starts in secret. It starts in the shadows of your own mind, where no one sees you and no one claps for you, where it's just you and the truth. You can't rise above your trauma until you say, I am more than what hurt me. You can't rise above mediocrity until you say, I am built for discipline. You can't rise above fear until you say, I move anyway. You can't rise above insecurity until you say, I belong in the room. Most people never rise, not because they're lazy, but because they're silent. They speak strength to others, but leave themselves starving. They post motivation for likes, but never declare truth when the phone is down. Your greatest rise will come when you stop giving your strongest words to strangers and start giving them to yourself. Don't underestimate the power of hearing yourself say what you need to become. The voice you trust the most is your own. Use it not just when you're on stage, not just when you feel good. Use it when you wake up uncertain. Use it when your hands are shaking. Use it when your past tries to crawl back into your present. That's when it matters most. Speak life, speak truth, speak identity, speak purpose, speak future. Not because it's trendy, but because your spirit is waiting on you. And it won't move until your words lead the way. You can't rise above what you refuse to say to yourself. So say it now. Say it boldly. Say it daily. Say it until your life starts to match your voice. Morning mindset is a spiritual weapon. Before your body stretches, before your hands reach for your phone, before the noise of the world enters your room, your mind is in a state of surrender or strength. What you do in that space determines whether you walk out into the world with armor or with open wounds. The morning is not just a routine, it is a battleground. And mindset is your first line of defense. You don't wake up neutral. You wake up vulnerable. Sleep resets your body, but your spirit wakes up needing alignment. The first thoughts you allow, the first emotions you feed, the first words you speak, they become your spiritual momentum. Start reactive, and you'll spend your whole day cleaning up chaos. Start intentional, and you'll walk through storms without bending. Your mindset isn't just a feeling, it's a force. It's a decision to anchor your soul in truth before your day demands strength you didn't prepare for. Life doesn't ask you if you're ready. It just shows up. With resistance, with interruptions, with pressure. And if you didn't arm your spirit in the morning, you'll find yourself fighting with empty hands by noon. People think mindset is about motivation, but it's more than that. It's spiritual positioning. When you choose stillness before stimulation, prayer before panic, gratitude before scrolling, you are claiming territory. You are telling the unseen world, I'm not entering this day as a victim. I'm entering as a warrior. That decision shifts your atmosphere. It doesn't just protect you, it prepares you. Because life isn't fair. People will test your patience. Delays will test your discipline. Pain will test your faith. And if your morning mindset isn't rooted in something unshakable, you'll crack the moment things get uncomfortable. But when your mind is set on purpose, when your spirit is charged with truth, you stop reacting like the world controls you. You start responding like you're already grounded. You don't need a perfect life to be powerful. You need a prepared mind. And preparation begins before the world starts talking. Of live not spoken. That's why the first minutes of your day are sacred. That's why silence matters. That's why reflection, gratitude, prayer, and intention are more than rituals. They are weapons. They're how you rise when life tries to pull you back. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you. He just needs you to wake up distracted. He doesn't need you to fall. He just needs you to forget who you are before the sun comes up. That's why your morning is under attack. That's why your thoughts are flooded the moment your eyes open. Because if your mind is taken early, your decisions will be weak, your emotions unstable, and your focus scattered. But when you claim your mind early, when you discipline your focus before the chaos arrives, you become a different kind of person. One who's not easily moved. One who doesn't crumble under pressure. One who doesn't chase peace because they already brought it with them. That kind of strength doesn't come from talent. It comes from training. Morning mindset is spiritual training. It's the quiet before the war. It's the sharpening of your sword before the battle starts. It's where you remind yourself of your values, your mission, and your applause. Not for validation, but for spiritual clarity. So when the noise comes, your soul doesn't get confused. This world is full of loud voices, but your day doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the one who takes authority early. If you wait until the afternoon to get centered, you'll spend the morning chasing things that don't matter. If you wait until you're anxious to pray, you'll keep trying to fix things in your own strength. But if you start with alignment, you'll move with assurance. So speak truth when you rise. Don't just go through motions. Go to war with every lie that tries to creep in. Say, I am not what I feel right now. Say, I am prepared for the pressure I will face. Say, I walk with peace, power, and purpose. Don't wait until the day crushes you to decide what you believe. Decide early. Decide often. Because mindset isn't a one-time fix. It's a daily weapon, a spiritual strategy, a declaration of war against anything that wants to steal your joy, drain your focus, or hijack your purpose. You don't just wake up and hope the day goes well. You wake up and command it, with prayer, with silence, with vision, with truth. Every morning is another chance to arm your mind or be ambushed by the world. And the one who prepares early walks through the day with peace the world didn't give and can't take away. Morning mindset isn't optional, not spoken. It's not motivational fluff. It's a spiritual weapon, and it's either in your hand or it's in your enemy's.